All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people out there, just like you and just like me. So, Steve Perry had kind of a big day yesterday when it comes to awards and plaques and dedications. The National Recording Registry has decided to add Don't Stop Believin', as well as Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, to the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry. Under the terms of the NRPA of 2000, the library's National Recording Preservation Board annually selects 25 recordings that are culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant and are at least 10 years old, which Don't Stop Believin' is a bit older than 10. We're going on, 41? The selections for the 2022 registry bring the total number of recordings on the registry to 600, and only a minuscule portion of the library's vast recorded sound collection of nearly 4 million items. So out of the 4 million items, music recordings like pop music or whatever account for only 600. So Steve Perry says, "This is the greatest honor of my life." Wow. Above the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He didn't say that, but if you're saying it's the greatest honor of your life, then he is basically saying it's bigger than anything else. He's citing his family's history as Portuguese immigrants to a small town in California. He says, "I've gotten multiple platinum albums and gold albums, and I've gotten into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But for my mother, my father, my grandmother, and grandfather, I am truly beside myself that this is happening. It's an only in America kind of thing." A little over a year ago, Don't Stop Believin' reached 1 billion listens on Spotify. In a 2009 interview with CBC's Q Cultural Affairs show, Perry said he always thought Don't Stop Believing, which is also the top-selling digital download of a track not originally released in this century, had potential as a single. It was always a hit with live audiences, though it didn't get radio play at the time it was issued, he said, which is true. A lot of people don't remember that the first single from that album was Who's Crying Now? And I think the record label really was very eager to get Open Arms out there, which spent a number of weeks at number 2, whereas Don't Stop Believin' was more of a rock radio hit. Again, for those of you who didn't grow up in this era and you don't understand the power of rock radio pushed out a lot of material, and some of it stuck and some of it didn't. If you go back through the archives, you can see the songs that actually charted on rock radio, and sometimes because of that wound up charting on the top 40, the Billboard top 40 and Cashbox and things like that. I'm pretty sure Don't Stop Believin' hit number 9 on rock radio. So it was still charting over on top 40, but Perry is correct here when he says that the song itself certainly was more of a rock radio song, or didn't get the kind of Billboard top 40 radio airplay as Who's Crying Now and also Open Arms. Even Still They Ride, I think, did significantly better on top 40, believe it or not, because they were looking for another ballad to follow up Open Arms with. So it's kind of a cool story. The other amazing story for Steve Perry yesterday was this group of individuals called the Addicted to Steve Perry group. This just shows you the power of his fan base, even at this stage. By the way, he's looking really good. He's got, the salt and pepper hair going. He almost looks better than he did a few years ago. Like he's just resting and enjoying his life. He's not aging all that much. He really looks good. And I think the hair is definitely the way to go. You know, let it go natural and just go out there as Steve Perry at age 70 something, you know, and just live your life and be happy. And hopefully he is recording some new material. But this dedication from the Addicted to Steve Perry group, including 2 individuals who made a plaque and a dedication to Steve Perry. And it's on a bench in Hanford's Civic Park in Hanford, California. The plaque reads, dedicated to Stephen Ray Perry. In case you didn't know, he could have been Stevie Ray if he had gotten to it earlier, but there's only one Stevie Ray, right? Thanks for your beautiful heart, kind soul, and your amazing talents. And there's a picture of a musical note. Donated by Addicted to Steve Perry Group administrators, Mary Mendoza and Cindy Daganese. I'm going to just butcher that, but there you go. It says here, one of the favorite sons of the South Valley received some special recognition in his hometown on Tuesday. There's a new tribute for former Journey lead singer and Hanford native Steve Perry. A ribbon cutting ceremony took place for a new plaque dedicated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. It's been mounted on a brand new bench in the park. Several of Perry's super fans, who call themselves the Addicted to Steve Perry fan club, helped donate the bench and plaques. So they spent their own money on getting this bench and plaque put there. That's dedication for you. Some of those Journey fans traveled from as far as Texas and Missouri to attend the ceremony. So there you go. Big day for Steve Perry. He's got a bench and a plaque in Hanford, California, hoping that maybe he'll go down there someday and hang out with some of those super fans, right? And then the National Recording Registry, it is kind of a big deal. These are like the time capsules of the music that essentially has affected culture, and just these songs are embedded. Some would say they're part of the Great American Songbook and so forth, but that's a really high honor. And Jonathan Cain also deserves some credit there. Steve Perry does a nice little 2-minute video that you can watch talking about how this song really was inspired by being in Detroit, the streetlight people. It's all about experiences that the band had at the moment being in Detroit, Michigan. So good job, Detroit. You're inspirational and one of the great songs of all time. No question. I am a little tired of the song. Apparently, talking to Dean Castronovo the other day, Journey, they're never going to get tired of playing this song. And they understand that the song itself has taken on a new life or a bigger life. And these things are hard to explain. Why Don't Stop Believin'? I think the lyrics, the melody, the whole thing, the structure of the song, the bass line, everything is fantastic. And Neil Schon, of course, gets a lot of credit as well for doing some really great arranging on that song. You don't hear much about his contributions, but he was really important to making that song the freight train that it is, because that's what hooks you into it. The whole guitar lick there where he's trying to sound like a train, and it works. It works so well that here we are today talking about the song as it enters the National Recording Registry in the Library of Congress. All right, folks, that's the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Patreon is just $1 a month. We had a couple of new patrons yesterday, and I want to thank everybody who decides to part with $1 a month, because in today's economic climate, that is dedication, and I appreciate that. And we'll keep cranking out the content, and you just keep watching the videos and subscribing, and all will be great. All right. Talk to you soon.